Hello guys, me Steve. Right, I'm afraid I can't use my 4G camera because the battery's died on me and I've only just got here. It's August the 5th today and it's 9:10. I know I charged the battery up, it's been charging all the time, ready for the next walk around, and the battery's dead on me. Even the power bank battery I bought with me is dead as well. So that's really unusual. Anyway, this is where a gentleman of 47, Adrian Gilbert, I think his name was, died in this area. The story being, and it is in the newspaper, Adrian came over here one day. He told his family he was going to visit friends, but he came over here, took an overdose and committed suicide due to post-stress depression. The reason why that was is because his wife died, and you know he couldn't be without his wife, so he decided to come over here and end his life. I have been over and done a daytime investigation. I did get an EVP. I've even done a little quick night-time investigation here with Aaron as well, and we've got some K2 hits, a little bit of ghost box communication, and again EVPs. I did put a crossing chain over there, somewhere over there. Where it is I don't know, I don't know if it's still there, but this is one location of where a body has been found on Mitcham Common. Now I'm actually using my head cam, my action cam, because the other camera, as I say, is completely dead of battery power. Why, I do not know, because I did charge it up, but maybe for some reason it didn't charge properly. Maybe the battery's playing around and I can't seem to get another battery for it yet, so I'm going to have to just mess around and see what's happening. Maybe when I charged it, it didn't connect to the connector properly. Anyway, Mitcham Common is known for a lot of deaths. Adrian Gilbert is one of them. There's a story of two females that commit suicide on a tree. They commit suicide by hanging themselves. So we're going to go there next. I don't know much about it, but I'll tell you when we get there on what I do know. It's just going to be a walk around. I didn't bring no equipment with me or anything today. It's showing that my GoPro 4G camera has died on me because I wanted to do some walk bys. So that's messed up my walk bys today. Lucky I bought this spare camera with me. So anyway, Adrian Gilbert is one person who died on here. There's several others which I kind of know about. So yeah, I'll get back to you on the next part of the location. Right, so the tree just in front of us is apparently where two females committed suicide. It's just more of a story because I've tried researching it. They're not found nothing in the papers, but that doesn't mean nothing, because like family could have wanted the thing kept out of papers for publicity reasons. But apparently two females who are lesbians who loved each other was told to stop having their special affair by their parents, or their parents would like disown them, wouldn't want to know them, and you know, they'd force them to stop seeing each other. So what happens is that the two females come over here one particular night and decided, well, they can't accept the way we are, then we're going to end our lives. So apparently two females hung themselves from this tree. Now if this story is true or not, I don't know. We have tried doing investigations here in the past. I've had a few K2 hits, not really got much on the ghost box or EVP. We did get sound like a female voice, but not a lot. Quite a high tree actually. I did say at one time, every time someone ties a rope on here, the next day it's disappeared. That's true or not, I don't know. But this is supposed to be the tree where two females hung themselves. Now here on the lake, about 100 years ago, and this is a true story. The first story I heard was about a little boy, Leonard, who was riding his bike down this hill, and at the particular time this lake used to be a lot higher up, and the story goes that Leonard was cycling down the hill, his brakes didn't work and he ended up in the lake and drowned. Well, that's the false story. The true story is that Leonard come over with his parents one day, his mum and a couple of friends. They were playing in the lake, and his friends kind of like dared him to find out who can cross the lake the quickest. Now Leonard wasn't a good swimmer, but he still was up for it, and he left his bike on the side with his mum, told him that he was just gonna have a little paddle in here, and all the boys, including Leonard, went in, started trying to swim across the lake, and then it got kind of like pulled under by the tidal wave, I suppose, what used to be here. I don't know if there is still a tidal wave. I suppose there is a bit, but not as bad as it used to be. But he got pulled under, started trying to scream out for help. His mates saw what's happening. They couldn't do nothing, so they went running to his mum, told his mum, and she started screaming and panicking. At the time there was a bloke, some guy in a boat, so they did have boats out here in the early Victorian times, apparently. They asked the guy to go and see if they could find Leonard. Leonard had already been sucked under. They told him roughly where Leonard was and why the guy in the boat was trying to find him, because he had one of those long boat hook poles. An ambulance had already been called, and about 10 minutes after the guy had been in a location where Leonard was, he actually did pull him out, but sadly Leonard had died of drowning. They did take him to the hospital, trying to resuscitate him, but it failed.
These gravel paths are probably a bit too gravel.
There have been stories of like a man walking across the lake one morning and saw an apparition of a little boy on a bike which rode past him. That was in the paper. So it's a true story, because the story of Leonard is actually published. A few investigators have come over and done night stories and stuff. So yeah, this is 7 Islands. So now we're going to the Hangman's Tree, which is just over there. Now you've got like the two hanging trees, the female one just behind me, and then the hanging tree which they used apparently to hang highwaymen in the early Victorian times and before the Victorian times, between the 16th up to like the late 18th centuries, coming into the 19th century, until they stopped hanging. So I can't use the other camera, so the bloody batteries run out. How it ran out I do not know. I've got to see if there's any way I can get another battery, a couple of batteries for it actually. I'll have to Google search it. Now originally I thought this was the hanging tree, but it's not. This one here is the hanging tree. Highwaymen apparently were hanged here when they were caught for doing their dirty deeds, when they were holding up people. I've always, when I've done like daytime sessions or nighttime sessions, I always put coins down here. I always left a coin or two, and I don't know how. I know kids used to calm me, but I used to bury the coins, and would you believe, every coin that I put there, when I came back to look for it to see if it's still there, it was gone. I even bought my milk detector over here not long ago, and my pinpointer, and there's nothing now. So maybe the spirits of the highwaymen takes my coins. No, I never seem to be harmed over here actually, to be honest with you. Yeah, I do get the feeling I'm being watched time to time, but yeah, this is where me and Simon James done some sessions, even Aaron. But when me and Simon James was here, we was doing a ghost box. I'd taken random pictures, and a great big white light came out of the actual lake, which was kind of crazy. You know, we didn't physically see it ourselves, but the camera picked it up, digital camera, which was kind of crazy. And there weren't no helicopters or anything, shining lights, but this light actually came out of the lake. It looked like, you know, a spotlight kind of light. Maybe I kind of might have crossed over Leonard. Maybe that's why I don't sense them around here as much. But yeah, we was doing a ghost box here, and I was just finishing off the session doing a prayer, and Simon James goes, "Spirits, how does one end a prayer?" And just before I went to say amen, the ghost box kind of like sung out, "Amen," you know, like in a real nice kind of musical voice. Crazy it was. We even done some experiments over here with laser grids, and I'll show you where we did that. I'll keep the camera running because it's only just over there. But yeah, we've had some interesting sessions around this tree. All activity, ghost box, K2 hits, EVPs, a lot of good stuff. I'd like to come over and do another nighttime session with someone actually, but who? I've got no idea, because Aaron won't come around. Simon lives too far. Yeah, I did bring Steve Cooker over here, but we only done like a quick walkthrough. We didn't do really anything, to be honest with you. I'm not going to pick blackberries today. You know, I might pick a couple, you know, just to eat every now and then, but I'm not going to go mad like I did last time. So you ain't got to worry about that. But there are blackberries everywhere. Right, there's someone up there. Hopefully they'll walk past. Yeah, I need to go where that guy is, so I'll just wait around here for a minute until he goes past. But that's where I need to go. Me and Simon done some laser grid experiments up there, because we believe, although Leonard died in a lake, he liked to play up here on that little slipway there, and Simon was doing a laser grid experiment, and he said, oh, if anyone's around, you know, if you want to try to, you know, do something to the laser, kind of like break the laser beam or something like that, you know, please do so. It's only like technology. It's only like technology. It's like, you know, playing games. And it set this laser grid up just on this kind of like, well, it's not flat, but on this area here, and the laser beam actually did get tripped. We actually caught it on video, and that was practically after we just asked if you can like interact and like, you know, interfere with the laser beam. And over here, you know, I always had massive K2 hits, and every time I said it, that's Leonard, you know, I was always getting K2 hits hitting the red. But I don't, you know, I believe that Leonard's probably like moved on now, to be honest with you. Sometimes I don't sense he's around, but you know, I do think that he still comes and plays around here sometimes. He might even pop round my place and visit. So I did invite him home with me, and I do believe he did come home with me a while back. These blackberries are horrible. So yeah, like, you know, he stayed around for a little while, and now I suppose, like, you know, he wanted to move on, be with his family, his friends, and he crossed over. Now if he does come and visit time to time, great, you know. No, blackberries are horrible. But I'm hoping that he does come and visit, you know, because it's nice to like have a spirit walking around with you. You know, nice friendly spirit. So that's where Leonard used to like playing around. That's where we used to get a lot of activity anyway. The Hangman's Tree is where we get a lot of activity, I suppose, from highwaymen. I did ask questions before on EVP what their names were, and I did get a couple of male names. Right, I'm going to stop this for a minute because I've got to walk over that way, trying to save a little bit of battery power. But George Biggett, or Biggles I think his name is, there's a monument over there of him, and I'll tell you a little story about that in a minute. Right, here we are at George Parker Bidder, OC. He erected this remembrance in efforts to preserve this common, 1896, that's his monument. He done a lot for the common. He tried to keep it as you can, you know, like as it is. There used to be someone's broken cord here. There used to be the female cricket pitch over here apparently at one time, but it got erected, destroyed. A lot of bombs fell down here during World War II. There is a crater which I have actually videoed before. I'm not going to go that direction today, I don't think. Just try and pick a few nicer ones. They're better from where they're in the shade. I'm caught up. Sorry about this, but I've got to get some protein in me as well. I'm not sure how George died, but just over there where that tree is, a few years ago, I was just walking through doing like a little daytime session, and I did get a K2 flutter hit for a couple of, you know, about 4 or 5 hits. And I had my EVP recorder, and I said, George, if you're around, can you shout your name out please? And this device I'm holding, it's not going to harm you, it's just a recording device. Love to hear you shout your name out. And I actually got the name George come through. So that was interesting. So I've had Leonard's name come through a lot. I've had George's name come through a few times. George, you ran, say your name again. Shout in this black box. Not going to harm you, mate, just technology. It's called video, motion. Want to say hello, please do so. Leonard, if you're around, want to shout out hello? So sometimes you might pick up EVPs, sometimes you don't. But the locations I've just done are more of the actual truer stories, apart from the two females. We don't know that's true or not. The other stories I've heard, which is meant to be true, decaying body found on the common. I'm not sure where that is on the common, but that's a true story. A guy told me about it. Didn't really believe him at first. The story being that he was walking through the common, he always took a certain path, and every time he came down this pathway he kept smelling something like, you know, rotten flesh, decaying flesh, and he just kind of thought it might be a fox or something. So he just kept walking down, and every time he used his footpath it seemed to be getting like worse and worse, the smell. So he decided he wasn't going to go down a footpath anymore, he was going to take a different footpath. Well, a couple of days later another man was walking down the same footpath, and his dog, which he was walking at the time, ran over to this like bundle which was laying on the ground, and apparently it was a decaying female body. So the police got called out and had to like come and take the body away and do all the examinations and stuff like that. So that's another true story, but where that body was I don't know. I think it's more over where Adrian's body was in that area. Another story is another male Polish guy, which is in the papers, but it doesn't give you that much information. Polish guy hung himself over in that direction somewhere. Why? No idea. But yeah, story goes that he came over and just hung himself. Maybe due to depression or something, maybe. No, this common is known to be, you know, for like suicides, while Wimbledon Common is known to be for murders. So, so that's the hangman's tree. Right, well, there's not much else I can talk about. Just have a look down on the lake. We might start making tracks home. So it's a short video. I would like to have done some walk bys, but it's so my other camera battery's completely dead on it. How, why, I've got no idea. It's been charging for days, and go to use it, it doesn't work. Maybe it's just where, you know, I might have turned it on by mistake one day and you know, tried to copy a file over and I forgot to turn it off. These blackberries ain't all that. Oh, actually there is another place right over there. So I'll turn this off again, guys. And I'll speak to you. Oh, hello. All right. I can't get the fucking thing off. Alright guys, I had to turn the camera off because I saw one of my old fishing buddies, John, who don't like to be recorded. Just over here, there's someone sitting over there actually. But over in this direction, a bit creepy area walking through at night times, I'll tell you that for one thing. Just over there is a little place where I found a piano, would you believe, a piano in the common, and I actually done a little kind of session over there just for a laugh, and I actually got K2 hits and EVPs from it. It's no longer here, you know, this took about over a year ago, nearly 2 years. But there's a piano just over where that bigger thick tree is. And it's been sitting there for weeks. And I did a Ouija board session at home. And the response was that there's an old lady attached to that piano who died. And she used to be a pianist teacher. Now here, this area, I've done little mini paranormal investigations here. I've done metal detecting here, and a few times something has either snapped near me or fallen near me or been thrown near me, and there's no one around whatsoever. So this little bit here can be creepy. And if you listen, apart from the traffic, just listen. It's quiet. Can't hear no birds. Nothing. Apart from the traffic just over there. You know, there's no birds. Not seeing no rabbits. No squirrels, nothing. So this is part haunted. Got no idea. If there's any spirits around me right now, I've got no device apart from this. You want to say hello, shout out your name. Can you do that now please? Weird headache, like nausea. I feel sick now as well. Don't know why. My leg feels wet. Yeah, I definitely feel sick. Don't know why I feel sick, but I feel sick right now. There's the road over there. Okay, now this bit, you're hearing crows. Crows are supposed to be messengers of death. That's why I don't understand. I think it's all bubble gum. Who would be stupid enough to eat all that gum and stick it on a tree? Disgusting. Right, so There ain't no other stories that I know of, to be honest with you. There is one about the highwayman who goes up and down that hill over there, but that's just like folks tale. But to be honest with you guys, that's it really. I would like to have used the other camera, done some walk-bys and stuff like that, but alas, the camera didn't want to work today. Battery wasn't charged up for some reason, so I'm going to go home and check that out and see if I can find some more batteries for it on eBay, and if I can find some, I'll order some more batteries for it. Anyway, if you watch this, cheers for watching. This is Steve, Southwest Ghost. I'm just doing a little walk around, telling you about the activity that's been caught on here. Some of the true stories. You know, you can actually Google Mitcham Common and you'll find stories about people committing suicide over here. So yeah, I will do another one maybe in the future, just an update, and if I hear of any more stories about people being found dead over here, I'll let you know. So cheers for watching, bye for now.